So, yeah, we're in a period of where retrograde season just started. With Pluto went in retrograde, Saturn went in retrograde, and Venus is in retrograde. Venus is like one of the stronger energies we're connecting with, and that's in Gemini. And then our season just moved into Gemini. So we're going to notice this really showing up this season, which is communication. And not only like communication as speaking, but also listening, like listening to the words that aren't being said, um, and paying attention to body language and your own energy when you speak, and like connecting that with your body language. So this is the time to be very mindful of the way we're interacting with others in like our relationships. And it's okay, like if emotions come up and like anger, that's just for you to like be able to experience, so you can at that point reflect over it and see where you could better adjust yourself for the other person to receive what it is that you're trying to say. And most of the time when that happens, expectations weren't met, and basically there could have been better communication around whatever that was. So when that happens, just try to be mindful of where you can better adjust that for, the next time it comes around, because these are cycles. Like we're going to go through that. So previous cycles are coming around right now, or it looks like previous cycles, or like a previous experience, but it's like a different aspect of it. So just pay attention to like, where have I seen this before? This has come up before. And this is just for you to better align yourself in your communication, and not to hold on to it. So like when it happens, if you need to apologize, do it. This is for you to like really get into your best place to learn how to communicate, for the other person to receive it, and for you to learn how to listen so you can better understand that person and what they're trying to communicate. Because we tend to have a lot of assumptions, and we need to be more mindful of where we're assuming. We tend to get triggered when our expectations aren't met. So learning how to release control around that, and like recognizing if like how you're speaking, if it's like manipulating in a sense, and even though you're not meaning to be manipulative, but like if it's manipulating in a sense where it's like you want the other person to do something and you're trying to get that thing to happen, like whatever it is, just pay attention where you're kind of, I don't really know. Let me think of an example. Like if you're manipulating the energy, I guess. I'll think about it for a second. So that's Gemini season. So Gemini rules the mind. So you're going to notice your thoughts too. So like pay attention to any thoughts that go back and forth, because it's the twins too. So be mindful of like how you think of one thing and then you think of something on the opposite spectrum of whatever that is. So you might, have those stories playing out where it's like the good and bad, I guess. And it's learning how to better discern yourself with the thoughts are going through your mind and how it feels inside with those thoughts, right? So we're better aligning with love. So if we're creating a story in our mind that just doesn't feel right, there's worry that's carried with it, or a fear that's carried with it, that's not the story that you want to be aligning with. Okay, the story you want to be aligning with is the one that feels right, would create the world that you want to create. That's the story that you want. Okay, and not attaching yourself to outcomes. So anytime the story is about an outcome, release that. Just say that, whatever happens, it's going to come to me and I can handle whatever that is, and I trust in that, and I'm going to let that thought go, that story go, because it's not doing anything for me. Okay. So this is how we create our world, right? So we raise our vibrations by, I hope I'm not freezing because my internet. Okay. We raise our vibrations by, the way we feel. So if we feel good, we feel joy, we feel happiness, we can manage that. Once we're able to manage our emotions, like that's how we manifest, right? So we have to recognize that we're in the power to create our world. So our personal world and also the world around us. So like, let's say that you're having an experience in a relationship and, you guys are just not understanding each other. And like, we get into this aspect of, I don't deserve this. They shouldn't be talking to me this way, whatever it is, the whole thing. Okay. Now I want you to start to shift your mindset around that and see where you can find the highest vibration to whatever that experience is. Now, wanting to change that person by, like, I don't deserve this, they shouldn't be talking to me that way. Instead, look at it as, okay, I must not be understanding this right, because this person wouldn't treat me this way if they loved me. 95% of the time, they're treating me with love. And just because this one experience, they're treating me, like whatever it is, doesn't mean that they don't love me. There must be something that is getting misunderstood with our communication. Now, I will tell you that my husband and I, the way our charts are set up, our energy together, our biggest challenge is, whoops, I gotta let someone in. Let me in, Salma. My biggest challenge in my relationship has been our communication, and we worked through that last year. And I've done so much work in this that I've learned, like, this time, of course, is going to come back around right now, because like I said, it's that retrograde energy in Gemini. So right now we're going through things that have been a past experience, and it's okay. I just detach myself from it. I pay attention to it. I still love him, and I think loving thoughts of him. So the thoughts here, so like if he, for example, like, his expectations aren't met in certain instances, and instead of me saying like, getting super mad and holding on to that and just like thinking bad thoughts about him, right? Instead, I recognize that this is telepathic communication when I'm thinking, okay? So instead, the way I'm purposeful about it is I'm like, okay, babe, in my head, this is what I say. I basically talk to him because it's not coming through words, right? So if we're connecting in the mind, there's an energy that aligns. Okay. So I'll be very intentional. I'll be like, babe, you need to understand this, and this. Like, sometimes it's too much in person. So if we do it in our mind, we could have that conversation in our mind, which is what we really want to say. That's from here, right? Then if it does need to come in person, the energy will be shifted. Okay. So, it's like, okay, I really love you. I'm just having a hard time doing this, whatever it is, not like, you suck, you're the worst ever, blah, blah, blah. And remember that when you're thinking those thoughts about someone else, there's an aspect within you that feels that way, that you don't accept yourself in some way. Okay. So we have to pay attention to all the communication that's in our head, the communication that's happening out here, the intuitive energy that's connected with it. Does this make sense to you guys? Because communication is happening all the time, right? I mean, if you think about it, we're having thoughts, especially right now. Everybody has, not everybody, but a lot of people have that racing mind. And we're trying to reverse that racing mind. So paying attention to the racing mind and learning how to shift those racing mind thoughts is powerful. There is where you control your thoughts, okay? And that's where we go to, we can only control ourselves. So don't try to change the other person. Instead, try to shift the energy to where you want it better aligned. Okay, so having those hard conversations, like, it's okay to rock the boat every once in a while. Don't hold on to, I'm walking on eggshells because I don't want to stir this up, and I just want to keep it peacefully. But sometimes you have to rock the boat. You have to, because we are not used to, as humans, especially past generations, expressing our truth. So we're learning right now. And the only way to learn is to express it and continue to express it, so we can keep adjusting that energy. So once you learn how to adjust that energy, you have to remember, don't judge yourself how it's coming up, and don't judge the other person how it's coming up, because they're learning just as well. And that's where the forgiveness comes in, where it's okay, I understand how this is difficult for this person, but then you speak to, okay, so you please don't speak to me this way, or like say these words, blah blah blah, like be really vulnerable about it, but also understanding. Okay. So because think about it, like everybody really just wants to be heard and accepted, right? I mean, pretty much everyone. If you think about how you feel, you just want to be heard. Like, let's say, I'll give you an example, like my house, like I wish like there were certain things that like could be done better, right? So instead of feeling like you got to fix this, like I can't do this anymore, instead it's like, okay, I need to express this because I just need to be heard, and I'm still going to release the control whether you're going to do it or not, because I can't let that trigger me, but I do need to express this because I want to be heard. Now, the same thing goes with them. We just want to be heard by each other. Now, the acceptance part that comes in, that has to do with you accepting yourself first. You don't need acceptance from the other person. You need to start accepting yourself. Once you accept yourself, nobody can mess with you. Nobody. Nobody, no matter what they say, doesn't matter, because you already accept the way you feel. You already feel whole. You already know what's right in your heart. You're already confident and trust yourself in whatever it is that's happening, that no matter what the other person says, doesn't matter. You're just going to do what's right for you while also having compassion for the other person. Okay. So I'll give you an example today. Like, Thomas is often, he wanted to clean a certain thing outside together, and our schedules are different. I could have better communicated that with him. And basically I just said, look, I can't do this right now, but I will help you afterwards. And, I helped for the first 20 minutes before I started. And then I went back and I was in integrity and held my word. I was reliable and I helped and I finished. And I said, look, so basically the words I wasn't saying is, I can't do this on your time, but I will tell you that if you need my help, I will be there to help you. You can rely on me. Okay. So that's kind of like the words that weren't being said. And that's what I mean by reading in between the lines. Listen to what they're saying. Don't hold on to the words that are being said, but the energy that's being felt behind it. Read between the lines what that person actually means, because they're having just as much trouble communicating their feelings as much as you are. Okay, try to see that, because all we're doing right now is opening our heart. So basically, those that have been holding on to their feelings and haven't been comfortable speaking their truth, it's happening, and they can't help it. It's just because that's where we're moving out of. Until all this energy is released, we can't move into that or we can, but it's going to happen on its own naturally. But we're moving into that timeline of love. So all this energy needs to be released first. So don't be afraid to speak. It's not about getting it perfect. It's just about learning your feelings that you feel and learning how to communicate them. Okay. So I wrote some stuff down. This pretty much was covered. So pay attention to the communication you have with others. Oh, this is another aspect of it. See each person in your experience as God. Okay. You're a piece of God. They're a piece of God. They're there intentionally and purposefully for you to heal. Every person, no one's left out. Each person that is in your experience is a piece of God. It's God bringing that person to you. It's the universe speaking through them, and it's for you. Okay? So it's for you to better adjust your communication to connect with the other person. Okay? This connection has been lost, and we're trying to find it. It's not about being right or wrong. You don't need to be accepted by the other person. So your point doesn't need to get across. Your feelings are not going to change. But when you get better at it, you will be better able to communicate what it is that you're trying to get across. So like I said, not about being right or wrong. Debates, you're wasting energy there. So don't go there. When someone is debating you, just be like, peacefully have that space. I can't communicate with you with you right now, because you're not receiving what I'm saying. Like, that's basically what you're saying. Until you feel like you can. Okay. Don't let the energy get heated, because it's not fair. Like, I mean, if it does, that's okay. But I'm just saying, like, that debate aspect, and you keep it going, it's not going to go anywhere. You're just going to keep doing this, because you're trying to get the other person to receive what it is you're saying, and they're blocked, and they're not going to receive it because they're too worried about being heard as well. Okay. So reflect over what is being said and better align it with love, and then respond if you can. Okay. Remember to pause, slow down. Retrograde season is all about slowing down and pausing. So now that it's in Gemini season and all these retrogrades are happening, it's up to us to pause before speaking. It's up to us to be slow in the way, and very intentional and purposeful, and paying attention to how the other person is speaking. Really reflect over it, being in stillness, all around the communication. So pay attention. The telepathic communication, pay attention to that, and notice when thoughts cross your mind and other people come into your mind. Pay attention to those things. Have conversations in your mind. Like, you could do that, because once we start getting intentional about that, people will continue, like, we're going to continue to grow that way. Okay. So, like, friggin' Rachel, maybe I'll start speaking to you in my mind. When I come to you in your mind, say, why is Jacqueline coming to my mind right now? And I'm going to open myself up and just see what comes up. And that might be me trying to communicate with you. Okay. So just be mindful of that. That's the kind of things I'm talking about. And all of you cross my mind at some point. And I'm sure I cross your minds at some point too, because we're all connecting. And when we can be more intentional about it, it's actually pretty fun. And Gemini energy is like fun energy. So if we can be more playful in our communication too, that'll just add an aspect. Socialization is really big this season. So have fun with this. Like, it's fun. Don't get attached to any like anger that comes up. Like, that's okay. It's all just energy. It's all just energy. It's fun. We all love each other. So don't worry, like, oh my God, I feel so bad. What if they don't like me anymore? Or like, like, that's really, we just want to be accepted. But when we can accept ourselves already, then it's like, okay, I'm going to get better at this, and I'm going to treat them better. I'm going to, be in integrity. If I hurt that person, I'm going to say sorry, because, obviously it wasn't intentional, but I did, I could have been better at that. It's okay to apologize. That's where that acceptance comes in. And you don't, you can, even if someone is too prideful to like apologize to you, don't hold on to that either, because you don't need that, right? Everything's in here that you need. You don't need an apology from that other person. Let them give that to you freely without judging them around that, because that's their own healing that they need to do. Okay. It has nothing to do with you. So don't sit there looking for an apology. It's not worth it for you, and it blocks the space from it happening, because when we can allow someone to freely come to us, it allows them to open their hearts as well. It's all energetic. So yeah, so this really connects with the mind realm this season, which to me is a lot of fun. So that's the third eye. We're going to be expanding. It's all about expanding our mindsets. And I was going to speak to something on here. Oh yeah. So this is another teaching that I have that some of you may have heard from me, but like, when experience comes to you and you don't like it, whatever it is, right? It's unaligned. It feels icky. You don't like the energy. Instead of being like, why is this happening to me right now? Instead say, what is this teaching me? And when you can better align yourself, you will master that experience when it comes to you. Okay. Instead of trying to avoid it and say like, I don't like when this happens. This sucks. I'm a victim. No, instead we say, oh, universe is bringing me this experience. What is it teaching me? And sometimes like we don't want to deal with something instead, and we feel like we can't handle it. Remember this one thing: the universe only brings you stuff that you can handle, which means you're very capable. And that means stop those limiting beliefs about yourself. You're stronger than that, so you can handle whatever comes to you. So Look at it as an opportunity, not as an inconvenience. So if you see it as an inconvenience, you're going to connect with that energy of being inconvenient. But instead, if you connect with, this is an opportunity for me here, you connect with that higher intention of opportunity. Okay, just to grow, get better, whatever it is. There was something else I wanted to share. So this is most of you know, but this is Spirit Daughter's book where she talks about the energy too, and I just use it. I should have highlighted it. I didn't. Oh, so this is also a big time for messages. So you know how I like receive intuitive messages? Open yourself up to that and trust them, because they're going to be coming strongly through right now. So signs, messages, all those kind of things, that's that expansion. That's connecting with, you know, not only the physical realm, but the spiritual realm. That's expansion. And open your mindset about what's going on in the, you know, physical world with everything. Try to see where you can better align and what feels right. So if it feels bad that, like, you know, we're being controlled, blah, 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 like that doesn't feel good. Try to align with a higher energy that we are recreating our world. The old is going away and we're just allowing it to come up and readjust so we can create a new world, right? Like, adjust your mindset where it feels off, and that's up to you to use your heart to feel into what feels right around that. Because we're all connected, we're all this one interconnectedness. So the way I'm feeling, you can also feel. So it's up to us. If we want to create our world, we need to connect and be that one. Like, okay, this is what's happening. If we can all think that same thought, like, that's powerful. That puts out that energy. It puts out. So I've manifested my life, right? So for me, I use my mind. Like, I said, I even have it in my journal. Like 5 years ago, I wrote down, I want to live in North Carolina. And I literally said all the things like my house is. And then, like, I was like, okay. And then 3 or 4 years, no, it was probably 3 years later, it happened. And I did nothing except take action where I felt guided. So when we think a huge collective thought about what we want to create for our world, it's going to show up. Okay? That's how powerful we are. So that's what I want you guys to pay attention to also when you're looking at what's happening in the world around us. Okay? This is playful and fun. We have to be fun about it. What is it that really will make you feel good and have a good, fulfilling life? What is that you want? Be playful. We don't have to be so serious right now. Socialize. We want to be together, you know? These are the things that we want. So I think during this time, we'll start to come back together more. We see how states are reopening. Don't be afraid of that. If any fear comes up, that's for you to work through. And just take that leap of faith around what's going to happen. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do some moon scopes. Do you guys all know your moons? Bruiser, do you know yours?
Like what sign our moon is in? Yeah, I do.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to up here, I'm going to start reading them down the list, and you could just let me know if it's yours. Aries moon.
That's mine.
Okay, perfect. You are bold and bright as your emotions are ruled by fire. You exude passion into everything you do, but can also become easily frustrated when things don't go your way. Your love language tends to be full of spontaneity, grand gestures, and courageous acts. Throughout Gemini season, look at the ways you can express your emotions and take note on how others are receiving them. So remember that receiving. We have to better adjust ourselves so they can receive it. And when we do that, it opens up like a whole new world for us, because now we're being understood. So, Cool your fire with some deep breaths and refine your listening skills this season so you may learn something new about your partners. On the new moon, envision new ways you can communicate your passions and share them with others in a form that will be well received. Cool, I like that. So keep working at it. Just, keep expressing yourself and see and keep adjusting. That's what this is about this season, okay? And then listening as well, so you can understand the other person. So that's another aspect, like we want to be understood. So try to understand the other person so you can better adjust your communication to them, because now you understand how they receive, right? And then you'll be understood. It's kind of cool how it works. So like what I did like with my relationship was I put my shit aside, my shit that I wanted to be understood about. I just put it to the side and I said, first, I'm going to understand Thomas, how he receives, how he works, what his words are, how certain things. I want to learn him first. When I did that, then I was able to better communicate what it is so he would receive it, because it was his language. We all have our own language. Does that make sense?
And if we don't have a partner,
Just all relationships. It doesn't have to be like this is all our relationships, including the one with ourself. Okay, so I was just using him as an example. But generally we're all very similar. So when you understand yourself, you can better understand the people around you too. So just work on that adjustment. I mean, if it's sharing on social media, just keep adjusting where you're noticing more people are responding and receiving that message. You know what I mean? However it shows up for you. Even maybe family members. I don't know. Because I know right now truthers, like we're have a big message to share, and it's going across to the people we love, where sometimes we may need to take space from them depending how they're receiving it. And then also, to the people that we're connected with, seeing ourselves, like we're the ones passing the message, which is the craziest part. And we just have to be patient with others, So yeah, this is the season for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Any questions, or you feel okay? Okay. Awesome. I'm going to put you on mute. Okay. Taurus moon. Nobody? Okay. Gemini moon. Tang, I know that's you. Anybody else? No. Okay. Okay. So for you, this is your moon and your season. Ruled by air, you must always work to keep 2 feet on the ground, as you can sometimes get lost in your head. Your mind and your heart move quickly, and you have the ability to experience many emotions simultaneously. Your love language is speech, so you love to talk about all of your feelings, sometimes at once. Throughout Gemini season, pay attention to how your partners are responding to you. Are you overloading them with information? Can you give space for people to catch up to you? So like I just said, the truth thing, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So sometimes, what did I just say? Sometimes we have to give them space. So it's like, give them a little bit of information. They're not going to catch up to us as quickly as we want them to. It's just not going to happen. And that's okay. But we need to just plant the seeds. And that's for you to just adjust yourself in those ways and just be like, okay, I have a better response when I share this, or I feel like I should give them some space, like really slow down when you're trying to share information with others and see how you can get them better to receive it. And not overwhelming them, because that's when they come back at you, right? Because they're feeling overwhelmed. There's too much information coming at them, and then they just feel attacked. Like that's basically what happens, because they can't understand or process it. So just give them that space, share a little at a time. So focus on your listening skills and remember to hold space for others to communicate their needs as well. On the new moon, envision a version of yourself who is grounded and in touch with their emotions, but is not overwhelmed by them. So this season, focus on your grounding. Stay grounded. Whatever works for you. I mean, I go outside, put my feet on the ground. That works really well for me. Smoking weed helps me. taking baths. Like, just focus on your grounding so then you can better understand your emotions and work with them. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, completely.
Awesome. Does that connect with you?
Yeah, I've been really frustrated with people.
I know, you said it to me earlier too, so I was like, well,
Yeah.
totally makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. You got this. We're going to get better at this. It's our communication. That's all we need to do. We'll get it.
Yes.
Okay. Cancer moon. I know, Rachel, that's you. Anybody else? No, Ellie, I thought, did you put your hand up? No, you're Scorpio, right? Okay. All right. So Cancer moon, ruled by water. You are fluid and capable of great depths. This season and new moon may feel a little shallow for you, as Gemini is more about breadth and depth than depth. So it's like expansion rather than depth. Okay, does that make sense? Harness this fast-moving energy to uncover more truths about your emotions and your intuition. Find yourself scanning your inner knowledge in every situation before exchanging energy. So what did I say? Remember I said, I wrote it down, and I said, so like if someone's speaking to you, before responding, take that break, right? Reflect over it, then exchange the energy. Okay, so there's no and that's that slowing down with this retrograde season. Slowing down the communication. Like, there's no reason to respond so quickly. Okay, and this is for you. This is going to help you. So even if, like, so let's say the other person like wants you to respond, and you're just like, I'm still reflecting over this. I will when I'm ready, because I you just need to better understand it, right? Yeah. And you want to better understand it. So if that's the case, that's okay. Yeah, so the other person is as God, right? So reflect over what is being said, better align it with love, and then respond. So that shifts the energy of the conversation, okay? Your love language is reception. You love to receive support and nurturance as well as give it. Throughout Gemini season, define what that means for you and how you can incorporate more ways to give and receive. On the new moon, spend some time in quiet contemplation, providing space for the abundance of energy to settle and help you form a new vision of yourself moving forward. Okay, because there's a lot coming up at us right now. There's a lot. We're receiving a lot right now. There's just so much transformation happening. We're receiving, it's happening quickly. So if we can just take the time to like let it integrate into us and like slow down for a second, then we better readjusted when we go back into it. But I mean by that, like finding that balance and not just continuously moving forward, because obviously retrograde season is about slowing down too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is like the healthy balance between like taking your own space, but also like not taking it as a way of like coming back at other person, like being in your emotions and like knowing that it's taking a while, but like genuinely taking it for yourself?
Well,
like,
I think that's around making sure you're communicating that clearly, and then also just doing what feels right without feeling guilty about it, because that guilt is now blocking that space too. So instead, remember that telepathic communication, Rachel?
mm-hmm.
Go back to the telepathic communication and just remember to be like, I just need this space. Like whatever it is that you feel like you need to say that's in your heart, use that just like, so I can come back better to you, better than it was. So I can come back better to you. That's all this is about. That's your space, is so I can come back better to you. Right? I mean, technically that's really what it is, because I need to like process.
Yeah.
And space is great in general. Like, it's just so good, like with anyone, and not just like, romantic relationship. Every relationship is good to take space. So, and right now there's a lot of things coming up in pretty much all relationships that's just going to better align all of us together. So any communication that was unaligned in the first place is going to be realigned for everyone in our life. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so that's basically it. Did that help you?
Yeah.
Okay, Awesome.
Thank
So
you.
I mean, I think you'll be great at telepathic communication too, because you're Aquarius.
Yeah, I enjoy
Also, you
doing
know, like
that.
we connect very strongly with the mind. So just be more intentional about it when you are taking the space.
Okay.
Okay, Leo moon. No one. Virgo moon. Nobody. Okay, Libra moon. Nope. Okay, Scorpio moon. That's me and Ellie, right? Okay. Anybody else? No. Okay. This is so fun. You are intense and often moody. It's okay. You dive deep into your emotions and are very selective about who gets to access this information. Your communication can vary from the silent treatment to an emotional outburst designed to cut to the heart of the matter. Dang, what did I just say to you? That's pretty much what just happened. I just like went at it and it was like straight to the point and I'm like, bye, see you later. You are a seeker of truth and you stop at nothing until you find it in yourself and others. Your love language is quality time. That is 1000% correct. Ellie, how do you feel about that? Yes. Okay. So here's the thing. Let me help you. When you're craving quality time from someone else, have quality time with yourself. It helps so much because I've gone through that in my relationship, and for a long time I would just feel like you need to give me quality time, like I need this, and I would communicate that, and I would just be like, look, I would like to have this more, but at first I was kind of like an asshole about it, but then as I would work through it, I would have quality time with myself and take time with myself and set the intentions to have that happen with him, and I would do it telepathically too. That I would love this. I would love to have quality time with you. It's not that I need it from you. It's that I really enjoy it, because you don't need it from the other person, because we give ourselves. We're already whole, right? So we give it to ourselves. So try to have that shift. So if you're craving quality time, have that quality time with yourself and then speak that. I love having quality time with you. Like, it's a really big aspect for me in my relationship. Okay. Once you decide to let someone into your cave, you want them to stay there and become fascinated with what they find. You also want to learn everything about your partner and understand them more than they understand themselves. Yes.
Yeah.
Rachel, it's so fun, let me tell you. That's going to help her understand us, you know, like that's huge though, right? Like I really, really want to learn my husband. Like I want to know him to the core. But we have to also allow them to open up in their own time as well. So just leaving that space open for them to share themselves. Okay. So throughout Gemini season, be aware that many people won't be able to meet you at your depths, and that's okay. There will be plenty of people ready to take the plunge with you. So seek it through other people too. And I think a lot of us, you know, are in those depths, and are open to it. And like, you know what I mean, with the collective too. Like that's huge. Some people aren't ready to do that. You know, they're not ready to go deep into that darkness, and that's okay. But there are a lot of people that are too. So connect with those people. On the new moon, envision a version of yourself who shares their deep understanding of the world with others in new ways. It's time to find your voice. Yes, girl, you got this. Okay, so that's that receiving energy. So finding new ways to speak to that, so we could share how we see the world in a way that others can receive it. Okay.
Sweet.
Any questions? Are you good?
No, that sounds pretty cool because my mom actually just had a really like awakening experience. It was very beautiful. So that's really cool to kind of.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's helpful that you guys are together in the same space to be able to do that too. So that's great. Good for you. I love it. All right, cool. Sagittarius. Stevie, is that you? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so you are full of excitement and natural joy for life. I totally see that for sure. That's definitely you. Ruled by fire, you bring an exuberance into every situation, no matter how small or large. You love to seek out knowledge and are Gemini's natural counterpart. While Gemini encourages us to look at our local environment for information, you search beyond the horizon. You love mingling with foreign ideas and new cultures as you learn the world. Not being able to travel for you feels confining, and you need partners who understand that. Your natural love of compliments makes words of affirmation your love language. You love to bestow kindness to others and make them feel good. You also enjoy the kindness back in the form of acknowledgement and even praise. On the new moon, envision of ways you can travel inside your own mind and energy to form new concepts of the world. Okay, so here's what I have to say to you. So anytime you're seeking those words of affirmations for others, remember I said pay attention to your thoughts. I really want you to focus on the thoughts about yourself and if you're giving yourself enough praise. Okay?
Okay.
That makes sense. So if you start to notice yourself seeking that outside of you, start giving that to yourself.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then of course, like you could speak to, I would love it if you took notice in this or whatever. Like that's okay to say, but don't feel like you need that because that energy, it comes out lower and you're not it's just going to be blocked. So if you can do it for yourself first and then express yourself in, I love that from my partners, but because obviously you love it from yourself, for yourself, so if your partners can give you that as well, like that's huge because that'll better align your communication and connection, right? That makes sense. And then as for, remember I was saying to shift our mindset around what's happening. It sounds like to me, for you, this is a good time to really get curious about it and see where you could better adjust yourself as to what's going on that feels right in here, in your heart. Okay? Like I said before, the old energy is breaking down and the new energy is coming in. What does this world have to offer for us right now? That kind of thing. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. All right, Capricorn moon. Yay. Okay, Selma. You are steady and conserved in your emotions. Ruled by Earth, you need time and space to process your feelings, generally alone. What did we talk about? We just talked about this, like 2 weeks ago? That's so funny. You rely on no one, but do enjoy people in your life, provided they understand your need for space. You also enjoy doing things for others, making acts of service your love language. Once you commit to a partner, you are very devoted and enjoy helping them. Throughout Gemini season, come out of your cave to invent new ways to be of service of others. Also make sure to communicate with your partners how they can help you. On the new moon, feel the strength of your core helping you to create a new version of yourself. I like that one. I don't have anything to say to that. It's more like, that's good. Whoops, I just muted you. You're muted. Oh my God, I keep pressing the button. You do it. Why are you laughing?
Hey, what we were talking about last week, no, probably like 2 weeks ago, remember?
Yeah, that's so funny. And then you felt bad about it. I know. See, that's just you owning that part of you, and just being like, look, this is me. I'll give you that moon scope. You could show him. Just be like, look, I told you.
What is he's listening?
Oh, he's listening? Okay, see? That's just Selma. That's so funny. Yeah, and that, I mean, to be honest, like I just said to Rachel, you want to come back as a better person for him. That's all you're doing, and you know that you need that to do that. And if he could just understand that about you, which I'm sure he does, he's learning. But and that's the learning about each other. So by you saying this is my needs and I need to have this for myself so I could be better for you, then they'll know that they're heard, they're accepted, and they're loved too, just because you need space. That's okay. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so it sounds like service is big for you too. So maybe, I don't know if there's giving back in, your community if you feel guided in that way, but paying attention to where you could do acts of service. Why are you smiling? Are you good?
No, because I was talking to him. I was like, you heard?
Oh, okay, good. All right, cool. So Amanda, are you Aquarius moon?
Yeah. No, I was trying to find it in the beginning. I was Aries.
You're Aries. Did you hear what I said about that? Do you want me to reread it?
Sorta. Yeah, can you?
Yep. Okay, so you are bold and bright as your emotions are ruled by fire. You exude passion into everything you do, but can also become easily frustrated when things don't go your way. Your love language tends to be full of spontaneity, grand gestures, and courageous acts. Throughout Gemini season, look at the ways you can express your emotions and take note on how others are receiving them. Cool your fire with some deep breaths and refine your listening skills this season so you may learn something new about your partners. On the new moon, envision new ways you can communicate your passions and share them with others in a form that will be well received. So basically, you're sharing your passions and your emotions and expressing them so you can better adjust them. So like continue to express. You can better adjust for them to be received. So be courageous in expressing your emotions. Allow yourself to do that for you. Okay. Any questions?
I'm good.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So we're going to start the meditation now. This one's going to be like completely channeled. I love it. I've only gotten like small portions throughout the day. Okay, so here's something that Ting just taught me that I can share my computer sound. So if you guys can let me know if it works, if it's loud enough, or if I need to lower it. Is that too low, or can you guys hear it? How's that? Okay, good. And you can hear too high? How's that? Good? Hold on.
I barely can hear it.
You can't hear it or you can?
I barely can hear it.
How's that?
No, it's better.
Okay, and you can hear my voice? Remember, it's going to be quiet too, so it doesn't need to be super loud. But you can hear it though? Okay.
It's good.
Okay, thank you, Ting.
Dang.
All right, guys. Okay, relax and close your eyes. Relax your body. Take a deep breath through your nose. And exhale deeply. Relax your jaw. And continue the deep breathing in and out through your nose. Relax your mind and just let go. Now let your mind become aware of your feet. Visualize a red light flowing up from the bottom of your feet and swirling around the top of your feet. And let your feet just fall where they naturally want to. Now visualize that red light swirling around your ankles, swirling around your calves and your shins. And let those muscles relax. Visualize that red light swirling around your kneecaps and into the back of your knees. Now visualize that red light flowing over your thighs, into the back of your thighs. Visualize that red light getting into your forehead, your buttocks. Let those muscles relax and sink with you. Now visualize that red light swirling around your hips and turning into an orange light, encasing your hip joints in a warm orange light. Now visualize that orange light swirling around your lower torso, moving into your belly button. Now let your mind become aware of your abdominal area. Visualize a ball of yellow light filling your abdominal area. Take a deep breath into that ball of yellow light and feel it expand. Now visualize that yellow light swirling around your waist and moving into your chest. And with each breath you take, visualize your lungs being filled with a green light. Now let your mind become aware of your hands. Visualize a white light. Fill each finger and fill the palm of each hand. Visualize that white light swirling around your wrists, swirling around your forearms, swirling around your elbows, swirling around your upper arms, your shoulders. Allow your shoulder blades to relax and sink down with ease. Now let your mind become aware of your back. Starting at your tailbone, visualize a white light. Fill each vertebrae. Until you get to the base of your neck. Now let your mind become aware of your neck and throat. Open your lips slightly and then close them. Allow your tongue to drop into a relaxed position. Swallow gently. Visualize a blue light filling your throat and swirling around your neck. Now let your mind become aware of your head and face. Let your ears relax. Let your eyes relax. Allow that space between your eyebrows to relax. And visualize an indigo light in that space. Take a deep breath into that indigo light and see it expand. Now let your mind become aware of the top of your head. Visualize a purple light beaming down over the top of your head, flowing over and through your entire body. And just let go. And now that you're completely relaxed, I invite you to join me on a journey. A journey back throughout your life, through the years, into your childhood. I want you to allow any experience or experiences to come up with communication with others throughout your life. Just scan through your life and allow whatever you see to show up. Each person, any friends or family members or relationships. And when these people come up, I want you to see them as a piece of God, of the universe. Just a character showing up in your life through each experience. Feel into the energy of any emotion. Feel the energy behind the words. Whether it was fear or unacceptance, insecurities. And reflect over why these experiences could have been for you. See how it and how you can better manage experiences that come from previous experiences. I want you to focus on one experience now. And I want you to telepathically communicate back to that experience and that person or people. And in your mind, say what it is you would like to say now through the growth that you have done. And after you are done communicating your message, I want you to visualize light around that experience and see it healed and shining with love. It is something that you can let go. And whether it was something you were consciously aware of or not, you just released an energy that was within you and ready to be released. You are strong and capable. It is safe to be yourself. It is safe to love others. It is safe to forgive others. And it is safe to be vulnerable. And I want you to open yourself up to make any message that you may need to hear now. And I want you to focus on your heart as you allow this message to come through. I want you to take a deep breath into your heart space. And take a deep exhale, releasing anything that no longer serves you. And when you are ready, I want you to bring yourself back to conscious awareness. Bring yourself back to the room around you. Wiggling your toes and your fingers. Stretching if you need to. Allowing yourself to feel awake and alert. And only opening your eyes when you are ready. I'm going to turn the music off. And then when you guys are ready to come back, I'm going to go grab some cards. And if anybody wants to share, I could share first. So I'll share my meditation. So it actually was really interesting. I had an experience come back to me that was when I was living at my parents' house when I was like 18. And I had some guys over the house and we were smoking weed. And my parents weren't home and we were in the backyard and my dad came home early. And my dad he used to be a smoker, like he was a pothead when he was younger, but then as he got older, he actually became afraid of it because all of his friends ended up becoming like hardcore drug addicts and or alcoholic or something. So it ended up scaring him and he never wanted me to do it. So anytime, it was like a trigger for him basically. So in my meditation, and like when it happened, I was like really scared of like hurting him. So I basically like told him like, oh, I didn't know they had it. I didn't smoke any, whatever. So he like freaked out, sent them home. And through this experience, I basically went back and I said, I'm really sorry. Like I disrespected you in your home. I understand now, like, why you were so upset, and I probably should have respected your feelings around like weed. And then I basically told him like, it's not as bad as you think it is. We've been conditioned around it and it actually opens us up, blah blah blah. And I went all into that. But it was really interesting because I wasn't expecting that to come up at all, and I felt like that was healing for me and my dad. That was an aspect that we needed for each other, so that was really cool. Did anybody else have, and then my message was, I kept getting, I am worthy, I am purposeful, and I am a rock for the people around me, and that to keep sharing my light because it's going to help people find their own 2 feet and their grounding and their solidness by me sharing that light that I truly have within me. So that was really nice. I liked that. Anybody want to share theirs? You don't have to, so don't feel obligated to share. You can also write this in your journal too. I suggest that for sure, which I will do when I'm done. Nobody wants to share anything? All right, that's fine. Okay, so since nobody wants to share, I'll pull some cards. Was that good? Let me just ask a question. Was that meditation good? Okay. So good. So things came up for you guys. Perfect. God, because if it didn't, I would be really upset. I love that one though. Okay. So I'm going to start with Bruiser. Are you still awake over there? Okay. All right, I'm going to pull you a card.
My mind just wandered.
Through the meditation?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you have trouble connecting at all? What was it? Were you wandering to thoughts around now? Or throughout your
Just random stuff.
Okay. Just stuff. Was it
Yeah.
stuff relating to right now? Was it like what kind of stuff? Like stuff you have to do? Or was it related to like just experiences you're having right now and reflecting over them?
Like it was like stuff I used to watch on TV. Odd, like it was odd.
Okay. Did you get anything from it? Or was it kind of just keeping you distracted?
It was more distraction.
Okay. So next I have this meditation recorded. Okay. So you can use this. I want you to like go back and do it. When you start to become aware of that, try to like come back and listen to my words. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
okay. So like, try to just like bring yourself, like become aware of what's happening and then just be like, okay, I'm just going to listen to her words. I'm not trying to make anything happen. I'm just going to listen and see if that helps you at all. Because you also have to recondition your mind from going off into distracted thoughts and not connecting, because that's a conditioning we have, is to be disconnected. So our mind focuses on things outside of us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it takes practice. Like this isn't something to get overnight, but it is something to practice so you can get better at it and more focused. So I'm going to send you the recording of this and then let me know if you can get better at it. Does that sound good?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened. It takes time though. Like you're not the only one that has those experiences. It just depends on like I just said, Gemini season is all focused on the mind. Okay, so whatever is going, like our mind is illuminating right now. So if it's those racing thoughts happening, like that's just for you to get better at reconditioning and being purposeful. That's all that is. Okay, I'm pulling a card for you.
All right.
Okay, so it says the artist within you is about to emerge. So you got the God of the arts. So what does that mean? What? Oh, that just doesn't have a number. Okay. You will soon feel a strong urge to express yourself creatively. So how does that? We were just talking about that, right? Like learning how to express, to receive for your moon scope.
Let's see. House. Gemini, 5th house.
Okay. So your 5th house is Gemini. Is that okay?
According to this astrology guide, that's the creativity house.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Creativity and how you perceive play. So playing around with and being creative. Yeah. That's awesome. Look at that. How connected. Look at you on top of that too. That's great. If anybody else wants me to read that aspect too, I didn't go into that because I wanted to go into the meditation. Look up where Gemini is in your houses. So, okay. Oh, that's funny. Perfect. So intentional. All right. So this creative expression will lead you to new and exciting ventures, projects, and ideas. Expressing yourself creatively will also help you to balance and heal your emotions, which in turn will help balance and heal you physically. This is a time to be authentic and true to yourself. Allow yourself to express all you feel without reservation, censorship, or judgment. Honor the inner child within you and just be you. You can express yourself artistically in endless ways: painting, writing, sculpture, dancing, singing, music, gardening, carpentry, woodwork, pottery, are just a few ways you can express yourself imaginatively and creatively. Cool. I like that. So you don't just have to like write, you can also like express what it is that you want to get out there, like through artwork or whatever. Your thing. Make it yours. I like that card. That's fun. Any questions? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna do my own card. So all these cards connect too. So if you feel like it connects with you, that's just because we're all connected, and listen to that message as well for you. Okay, so my house that Gemini is in is focus on how you perceive personal growth. So that's the 8th house. All right, so I'll pull myself a card. Bruce, I'm gonna put you back on mute. Goddess of oneness. So it says, someone you love is thinking fondly of you at the moment. Well, that's nice. I hope that's true. Oh man. I'm glad that it's love. All right. Remember that love is not restricted by time or space, and you are forever connected spiritually to those who love and care for you. It is understandable that you may be saddened because you are physically apart from someone you dearly love. That's crazy too. So most of us are. And that's the other reason why the telepathic communication is so good to focus on right now, because most of us are not with our loved ones. So it makes it much easier to connect. Alternatively, you may be saddened by a loved one's recent passing from the earth plane. Through this card, they are making their presence felt. They have not left you and will never leave you. They are forever with you in spirit. The bonds of love can never be broken. Feel and acknowledge their presence, for they are with you in spirit right now. That's fun. I'll take that any day. Yeah, so this communication thing, like if you want to connect with spirit and communicate with spirit right now, this is a great time to do that and play around with that too, in a loving way, obviously. So the ones we loved can connect with us and communicate with us. Okay, Rachel, I'll pull you a card. Do you want me to look up your house first?
It's in the 10th house.
Okay, so 10th house. I should leave it on the page. Focus on how you communicate your values. That's a good one. Good.
Values regarding like
the values about life for you, like, and I think that's important to communicate your values like in your relationship too, like what you value, and focus on like how you're sharing that. Okay, because there are things that you need, that you value, that are important to you, that need to be expressed. Okay, that makes sense, right?
yes.
Okay, cool. Angel of communication. Communicate clearly. Don't be afraid to tell it like it is. That's right. What a great card for this energy right now. Okay. Okay. One of your major lessons in this lifetime is to learn to communicate what you want clearly. You assume that those around you know what you want or how you feel, yet the truth is that they do not. Because of your failure to communicate honestly and clearly, those around you often end up confused, or at best having to guess what it is you want, feel, or expect. So this is all of us too. Like, don't think you're the only person. We all need to learn how to do this clearly, because we hold everything in. It's just like it's a conditioning that we all have. So this is your time to practice that. Do not be afraid to say it like it is. You cannot lose anything by simply stating your truth. You do not need to blame or accuse others in order to speak your truth. Just state your case clearly. Underlying this whole issue is a fear of not being accepted. What did I say? Right? We all feel sorry. I'm gonna lower this. That'll be better. Yeah. So before, sorry. Okay. And therefore you're often afraid to speak up, right? So once we accept ourselves, we're able to just communicate our truth, because it doesn't matter if the other person accepts us or not, because we already feel accepted. So work on making sure you're accepted yourself as you are. Because we don't need the acceptance of others. If we feel like we need the acceptance of others, it's because we haven't worked through the acceptance of ourselves. We just got to get stronger in that. So know that it is an act of love onto yourself and others to communicate clearly, lovingly, and honestly. The angel of communication is here to help you work through this issue. Through this process, you will honor and empower yourself and gain much respect and love from others.
Nice.
Love that card. Any questions? No.
Pretty
Perfect, right?
self-explanatory.
Good. Okay, Amanda and Stevie. Stevie, I'll do you first because I'm doing it in order. Do you know your house that Gemini is in?
Okay. Yes, the 12th.
Okay. So for you, focus on how you perceive spirituality. Okay, so expand yourself around spirituality, and reflect over it and see where you could better connect with it, your communication with, the universe, with God, that kind of thing, messages that come to you. So you're in that kind of the spirit realm house. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'll pull you a card. Okay, God of reflections. So the qualities you see in others are simply a reflection of your own. Okay. It says, you are giving your power away because you fail to recognize and acknowledge that many wondrous qualities that you possess. The qualities you admire in others are simply reflections of the same qualities within you. Yet often you falsely believe that others are better than you in some way. It is now time to let go of this belief and allow your beauty, talent, and creativity to shine through. From now on, every time you see beauty in another, let it serve to remind you of your own beauty. If you recognize success in another, check to see how success also exists within you, and so on. As your perceptions are brought into balance, you become more effective force in the world and have more impact on those around you. By acknowledging all the beautiful qualities that you already possess, you open the door to an endless stream of abundance and blessings which stem from the heart of creation. So basically, just knowing that you're already whole and you are already a beauty yourself, like you hold all these unique qualities. So start to focus on that about yourself right now, your thoughts about yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions around that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's funny because it ties into the one that you read earlier too, I feel like.
Oh, the moon scope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I agree with that too. Cool.
Perfect. So don't look for affirmation from others.
Yep, exactly. Your thoughts about yourself. Yep. Perfect. See, now you know where to focus. Let me know if that comes up for you too. I would love to see how that.
Well, I'm reading a book right now. I can't tell you the name of it. I'm not sure. But the chapter that I read today was literally all about that.
Oh, wow.
So that's funny.
Oh, I love that. Perfect. Oh, I love when that happens. I love when that happens.
Or, what did it say? It said, when you essentially like pick apart yourself, think of it as like, would you say this stuff to your friend? No, then you don't need to say it to yourself.
Exactly.
Like, you wouldn't tell your friend, oh, you're terrible at jokes, so don't tell yourself that. Or you wouldn't tell your friend, oh, you look awful in that shirt, so don't tell yourself that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it makes
That's
sense. We judge ourselves so much harder. And by doing that, it's like almost like we end up judging others. Like when we notice we're judging others around us, it's almost like a trigger that we're judging ourselves as well, too. So, yeah, that's true. That's like 100% true.
And that was right. And that was another thing that I was saying. It was like when you pick apart other people, like, oh, they're so loud and obnoxious.
Yeah.
Think about what areas in your life are you loud and obnoxious, but you don't want to see it, so you pick it apart in other people.
Yep, because you're not accepting yourself around it. Perfect. Yes. Love that. Okay, cool. So you know where your focus is. That's awesome. Love, love, love it. Okay, Amanda, do you know what house Gemini is for you?
Yeah, mine says 6 and 7.
Okay, so focus on how you communicate healing to others. So I think that's totally connected with expressing your emotions. Like that's very similar. I feel like that connects, communicating, healing to others. And then your 7th house is focus on how you exchange energy in relationships. That's so aligned with this energy right now too. Yeah, so focus on, try to keep shifting it into higher vibrations each time you exchange energy. So that goes back to how can I better align this, and like using that space to keep that conversation in highest alignment, no matter how it comes up. You know what I mean? Remember I was saying like we're getting better at communicating our emotions, or it's going to take time to do that. So keeping it in its highest alignment as often as you can. And when it doesn't, then just keep shifting it back there and don't hold on to that lower vibration. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let me pull your card. Okay, so you got Goddess of Nature. You reap what you sow. Your dream is coming to fruition. So that's a manifesting card. Okay. Your dream is coming to fruition. This is a time to reap the rewards and benefits that are derived from the seeds of a project, venture, or idea you planted some time ago. It has not all been plain sailing, and many times you have doubted whether your many efforts and labor would ever be rewarded. Yet harvest time has come, a time when you reap what you have sown. Accept all the blessings about to come your way and realize that they are a result of the love, courage, and dedication and commitment you have shown in the recent past. Give thanks to Mother Nature and enjoy. Oh, that's a good one. Do you have anything connected with that, or you're not sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm freezing. Okay, cool.
100%.
I can hear you. So good. That card's good. Any questions?
I'm all good.
Okay, good. All right, Tang. Do you know what house Gemini is for you? Oh my God, I keep doing it. You do it.
Okay.
at the same time.
5th house.
Okay, so your 5th house is focus on how you perceive play and creativity. So that the Gemini is very connected with playfulness. So bringing in more like fun and joy into your life, and like see how you connect with that and how it affects you. You probably need that with all this frustration going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, let me pull your card. Okay, Angel of Clearing. We're going through a purging right now too, like emotionally. So that's basically what this card is connected with. So your time of waiting and confusion will soon be over. The Angel of Clearing is at work right now, clearing your auric field. This will pave the way for a time of renewed clarity, focus, and purpose in your life. Over the coming days, you will feel the effects of this clearing as all areas of your life are brought into balance and harmony. Give thanks to your angel for this gift and know that you deserve all the blessings coming your way. Know also that the period of doubt, frustration, and confusion you have experienced in recent months was a necessary part of your growth, and in its own way also a blessing. For just as nature has her changing seasons, so too does your life, which is governed by the same laws and moves in constant cycles in accordance with the divine will of the great Creator. Life constantly carries us within ebb and flow, towards the horizon, across the great ocean of life, then back to rest upon the shores of our own divinity. That's a good card. So no worries, the frustration will stop.
Can't wait.
Okay, any questions?
Okay. No.
Okay, good. Good tonight, good?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm,
awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, Salma, and then Ellie. Do you know what house that Gemini is for you?
I don't have Gemini in my
Okay.
chart.
Cool. So you don't. So you're just showing up all equally. Okay. Okay, Angel of Manifestation. So 3 cards in a row on blessings coming our way. Like, that's pretty cool. Okay, so your efforts, determination, and perseverance have paid off.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Okay, so something you have yearned for, dreamt of, and worked towards is about to manifest. Yes, this is not a time for wild elation. Keep your focus and balance and do not lose sight of your original purpose. Quietly give thanks to your angels, to God, Goddess, and the universe for this blessing, and continue quietly with your work. Oh, you muted yourself.
I actually was thinking about these things earlier. I was like, so I thought that today is the last day of fasting, so I was like, okay, I gotta go back to like my rituals and things that I was working on, but I still have one more day.
Oh, you're almost done. Okay, just go
Yeah.
diligently back. You're almost there. Oh, that's funny.
And I was exactly thinking about like manifesting and start working on these things again. I was thinking about them. Wow.
That's so funny. Yeah. Okay, so that totally aligns with this then.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. You're so close. That's basically what it's saying. You're so close. Don't give up.
Okay, keep going.
That's awesome. I love it. All right, cool. Ellie, your turn.
So that was 5th and 6th.
5th and 6th. Okay.
Yeah.
So focus on how you perceive play and creativity. So be more playful and like bring more joy and fun. And focus on how you communicate your healing to others. Okay. So yeah. So as you're healing yourself, try to be like communicate that and express how you're shifting and those things that are coming up. And how like the experiences that are coming to you are healing you and helping you. Speak to that kind of communication. All right, cool. Let's see. Okay, Angel of Support. The universe has heard your silent call for help. Okay. You're not in this alone. Nobody is. We're all supported as we go through this. So the universe has heard your silent call for help and has sent an angel to support and guide you through current circumstances. Your financial and emotional well-being is about to take a turn for a better through an unexpected blessing or sudden change in fortune that is soon to come your way. Surrender all fear and anxiety to God and trust. The universe is conspiring to help you. Emotional, spiritual, and material support come through a seemingly chance encounter with someone new or through an unexpected offer. So stop worrying. Is that a good card?
Yeah, no, that connected with my meditation like really good. So.
Oh, good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's really cool. All right. Any questions? Are you good?
I think I'm good. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. All right, guys. So that's the end. Yay. I'm so happy you're all on. I know it's every 2 weeks. I feel like it's like so long. And then I'm like, oh, yay, I get to see everyone again. That's literally how I feel. We've all been doing our own thing right now, I feel like. Like, totally. Does everybody feeling like that? Like, kind of just doing their own thing? Yeah, because that's what's been happening over here. Like, been just like in my own little world. So that's good. All right, guys. Any questions? Or are you good? Good.
I'm good.
Okay, good.
Thank
Like
you.
you're gonna go to sleep. All right, good night, guys. I have this recorded too, so if anybody wants to like replay it, do it again, Bruiser, I'll send it to you. And you can come back and use it. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
You're welcome.